Unscripted.
You know, momentum is such a funny thing because, like with sports, depending on who has the momentum in the fourth quarter is usually dependent on, who's going to win. It's a pretty good indication. For me personally, I find it to be very interesting to see how things are kind of going. And you know what? I'm going to get into the whole crap gamer can't come back to Xbox thing. Let's gatekeep him because for some reason, I don't know. Should I even do a video about that? I've contemplated it because there's some real idiots out there. But at the end of the day, I just feel like right now competition at its highest peak between Xbox and PlayStation that we've seen for many, many years. And that's really paying off for us, right? And I love that. I absolutely love that as a fan. And I think that you guys and girls out there should all love that as well. Just simply put, this is probably one of the better times to be a gamer because there is so much stiff competition, which means we're going to get better games, better deals, and there's going to be better things coming all around for everybody. Now, for me personally, I think that Microsoft has done a really good job of getting a lot of momentum and things like that going in favor of the Xbox brand. Obviously, with the closure of the Bethesda stuff, that wasn't the end of it, though. I mean, Microsoft really kind of went an extra mile. You can actually get the bonus frames on a lot of those games that went to Game Pass, which is a big boost as well. I mean, a lot of people playing Skyrim at 60 frames or whatever. I think that's probably something that console fans will probably enjoy. And then you also have an instance where they announced Outriders going day and date. Now, listen, I don't know if Outriders is going to be a well-received game. I haven't played it yet. But I do know that that's the first big AAA launching day and date on Game Pass. And with that being said, I feel like that's probably something that will garner them a lot of goodwill towards gamers. So they also have that. And then they announced, some of these other games that are coming to like Game Pass and things like that. Stuff like Undertale, which I think is the first time that game has come to Xbox. You also have something like Octopath Traveler, which I believe that was a Switch exclusive. You also have like Star Wars Squadrons, which is coming to Xbox thanks to EA Play. Which is interesting because I have that game on PS4 thanks to PSVR. But I wanted to talk about how Sony really needs to kind of up their game a bit now. I understand what's going on. We're in a pandemic and all that kind of stuff. But still, I feel like they have to really go out there and kind of, at the very least, start to make a little bit of noise. Because what we're seeing is that they don't really have that noise yet. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't really talking about, PlayStation in such a positive manner just yet because Sony has been relatively quiet, and I wanted to get into that, but let's get the intro done first. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and that means a lot to me personally. And if you guys are looking for a way to help out a small little crappy rebuilding, dying, whatever channel you want to consider it, by all means, please do that. Drop a like and all that kind of stuff. I do appreciate it. Now, shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. And yes, I've noticed a little bit of an uptick in the subscriber count over the last few days, so that's very much a positive thing to see. I know the views will probably be low, and that's everything to be expected when you're sort of rebuilding and taking everybody's kind of criticism into account. Of course, not the trolls. I couldn't care less about them, what they think. But for me personally, yeah, I thought that this was a pretty interesting thing, and I wanted to get into it. Listen, there is absolutely no doubt right now that what Microsoft is doing is nothing short of incredible. They've been able to really kind of exponentially get people talking about Xbox. I wouldn't be surprised if all this hype, if the next time that they actually get into like numbers and stuff, you might see Game Pass press 25 million subscribers. Now, do I think that's 25 concurrent subscribers? I don't think so. I think that they probably, when they talk about Xbox subscribers, they talk about how many people overall have subscribed, and not exactly the current ones. And the reason why I think this is because I think Ultimate is the better deal. And if you wanted to go to a pretty good estimation about how many people use Game Pass Ultimate, then you look at how many people went and joined EA Play since it joined Game Pass. And what I mean by that is if you have Xbox Live Ultimate, you also get EA Play, and EA announced roughly double their subscribers since joining Game Pass, which meant they went from 6 to 12 million. And so that's probably about how many are, obviously you automatically subscribe to EA Play when you have Ultimate Game Pass. So probably around 6 million. And then, you think of who has like the regular Game Pass at the $10 rate or whatever. Even if you wanted to double that and say 12 million, I think that's a little bit more accurate than the 18, 19 million. But that way it never goes down per se. They can just continue to do that. And I think that's just, how people do these type of things. Now Microsoft is making some noise and things like that with the ability to bring a lot of this stuff into the world of gaming for the first time. And will it be successful? I guess we'll have to see. Kudos to Microsoft for actually getting a lot of this type of hype going again. On the other hand, I've been seeing a lot on social media, not so much for me, like, listen, do I think Sony needs to get out there and, get people hyped up? Yeah, I do feel like that's something that they probably should do a little bit better job of. But again, we don't really know what's kind of going on right now, right? We're not really sure. So for me personally, I just find it to be very interesting, to say the least, that, so many people are talking about, hey, well, Sony needs to really step their game up. I think Sony should probably start to talk a little bit more. I mean, you have games coming out relatively shortly, Ratchet and Clank and, Horizon Forbidden West sometime this year, I guess. Even Returnal, so you've got some really big games coming out, but there's not really much hype as there could be. I think that Sony could do a better job. And like I said, I know that we're in a pandemic type situation, and that's unfortunate, but at the same time, I feel like Sony could do a better job of getting people excited, to say the least. And for me personally, I think that that's something that really could be utilized in the future and things like that. So obviously there's going to be some overreactions. A lot of people hate that I'm talking positive about Xbox. Like I've said all along, I have no problem with Xbox. Do something good and I'll say, hey, you did a good job. But it always does come down to the games, and I'll still stick by that. They're doing some things to kind of right the ship in terms of what they've been doing wrong. 557 days without a AAA exclusive release, that's unfortunate. But getting something like Outriders in Game Pass day and date, I feel like is a huge step forward. And then, like I said, in a few years' time, I think that, they'll be having, multiple releases that sound and look great. Right, so you'll be over that kind of hump. It's just getting to that area, and sometimes I'm like astonished by the fact that here we are all these years later, and games was the last thing that they're working on. I don't understand the thought process behind that. Like, you even see some stuff from like Windows Central or whatever, and nothing but respect to those guys, but they're like, oh well, they got really these deals going for stuff years out, and it's like, man, stuff that was years out, they should have had deals going years ago so that we got it now. So I'll always kind of be critical in that aspect, but I have to, keep it 100, and I say that, I feel like they're doing a good job of getting people, A, they're getting their fan base excited. 2, they have a good console, right? Despite no matter what anybody says, like, it's a good console. They just lack the games and that extra little something to give people that really kind of makes people want to play the games and have something to play. And I feel like that's something that they're working on, but getting something day and date, big third party, I think helps along the way. And I think it's going to do multiple things. One, you have people like me where if I was going to buy that game, I wasn't sold on it yet, by the way, but if I was going to buy that game, I was probably going to buy it on PlayStation 5. And now, what am I going to do? I'm going to download it and play it on my Xbox Series X. I'm sure that's exactly what Microsoft wanted me to do. That's what their main goal is. That's the type of stuff they need. And listen, I know a lot of people like smaller games, indie games, AA games, that kind of stuff, and I feel like that's great. And even like the Microsoft smaller stuff. To me, that stuff's not great. Like, I buy these consoles, I like the big AAA experiences. I want the big games in there, man. If they could get, something like Madden and Call of Duty in Game Pass, I feel like that could be a game changer for like a lifetime, you know what I mean? Because those are the games that I tend to buy like day one, is the Assassin's Creeds, the Call of Duties, the Maddens, like these type of games. Even though I buy a ton of games day one, like those are the ones that a lot of people, I think most people buy day one. Could you imagine getting Call of Duty in Game Pass day one? I think that, like, at that point it'd be a huge deal for Microsoft. Will that ever happen? I don't know, because Activision makes so much damn money from those games and microtransactions and stuff. I'm not sure if it makes sense. Plus, Warzone is free as it is, but we'll have to see how that kind of all works out. But What do you guys feel about this? Do you think that Sony needs to go out there, make some waves, get people excited about the future of PlayStation the way that Microsoft has done? I feel like PlayStation's still like, they're not hurting. Like, I don't want people to go, oh man, he's really turning on PlayStation. I feel like, you know, PlayStation is still the most sought after console, the PS5. Like, a minute later after they're on sale, they sell out. So I understand PlayStation's not hurting. But what I am saying is, it's kind of strange to me that, you know, right now they're letting Microsoft get away with all of this, you know, hype, when usually PlayStation would have killed that hype at the same time. Like years ago, this stuff, Sony would have announced something that completely killed this. You know what I mean? So, very interesting to hear what you guys think. Let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. It's amazing what can change in a little bit of time, or a lot of time. I mean, obviously, the games are still a work in progress, but let me know. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.